It was at this moment that they realized that they had up. Hi, my name's Dan. I'm a vicar in the Church of England. So the bishops in the Church of England have met after the vote in February by the General Synod to allow blessings of same-sex marriages. Now they've been sent off to discuss the next steps of what's happening. But something happened that's led to some unintended consequences about us now knowing what they're thinking about the whole LLF process, and it is not good. So Dr. Joe Wells, who is Bishop of Dorking in Guildford, took a photo of Eva John being given flowers. She was an enabling officer of the LLF process. The Archbishop of Canterbury said amazing and extraordinary work that she had done. And in that photo, which she put on Twitter, but has since been taken down, that's kind of quite significant as well, there were post-it notes behind this Eva, and on those post-it notes the bishops were saying things about, or thoughts about, the LLF process and the future. So I thank Anglican.Inc. for doing the hard work for me and looking at what those post-it notes said, and they say, just go through them: loss of vocations, missional energy and unity, schism, confusion, not just a fracture of the Church of England, but its complete disintegration, strained and broken relationships in families, churches, dioceses and the global church. In Sheffield, splitting the diocese, division within, brackets if we proceed, ridicule without, brackets if we step back. Unintended consequences of XXX, not sure what it is, decisions. So unintended consequences of decisions, that cancel culture will prove more dominant than grace-filled love and acceptance, forgetting its breadth and irrelevance. So really quite negative. But one thing that we don't know, if this was an area where it was just negative thoughts and they had another area where there was positive thoughts. We don't know that. They held this meeting in private. We do not know what went on. I don't think there'll ever be transparency about that. But what we do know is that we got this snapshot of what the bishops were saying, and it is quite telling, really, and it only reflects really what a lot of us are saying, feeling. Churches that are taking action, deaneries, even in London, that are taking action, how it's felt. And there is, in a sense, schism. So loss of vocations, that's already happening. People are stepping away from the Church of England or not getting ordained if they're supposed to be ordained this summer. Missional energy, well, for a lot of people, it's a real kick in the guts. And that missional energy will come back, but it can knock some people off. And unity, for sure. What does unity look like? Because it very much feels that there's two different camps at the moment. Schism and confusion, absolutely. That's naturally going to happen anyway. And the CEEC, the Church of England Evangelical Council, kind of campaigning in a sense for a third province. So that's making schism. So at the moment we have York into Canterbury, but adding a third province it will just naturally make schism, and we're heading that way anyway because there is an unofficial schism at the moment. This one's big, isn't it? Not just the fracture of the Church of England, but its complete disintegration. Now, in a sense, it could be that way, but I do feel that there are strong churches, both evangelical and traditional Anglo-Catholic, that are going to pull through this and be even stronger. They say in Sheffield, split the diocese, division within or ridicule without if you go forward. And I think that's where the bishops are, that it's Sophie's choice. As the article says, if we proceed, there's going to be division within. If we step back, there's going to be ridicule without. And this is the other thing: the cancel culture will prove more dominant than grace-filled love and acceptance, and that's what a lot of vicars are facing and worried about. Is that society really will come after some of the vicars in certain areas, perhaps, and the bishops won't stand by them because there'll be a different range of views. I'm not sure if that will really happen. I think bishops really should stand by those who they disagree with, and I think for the unity part, to be honest, they probably will stand by them. How many people from the secular world, if it's from the secular world that complaints come, will know to write to the bishop? It might not happen. So there's a lot of things to play out in this, but actually it's more the worry of the unknown and what's not going to happen that's keeping people awake at night, you could say. And so this coming out, what does it mean for us as a church? Well, it means that the bishops are aware, or have been made aware by maybe local vicars or churches, or more people, lay people as well, writing to them and helping them to understand that this is a bigger thing, and there's bigger pushback than they originally thought. The CEEC started up a campaign called Compelled to Resist, and so this has started. Now, will it go forward? Will it continue to go forward, even though they're saying these things? I believe it will. I think they started on a road, and they're going to continue down that. Could it be pushed from the July General Synod to November? It might be wise for them to do that, to really understand what the pushback really looks like and the consequences of that. But on the other hand, they just might push it through in July. I don't believe personally that it's going to stop. Anything's going to stop, even with what the bishops themselves are saying. I think it's going to go forward. There's no way at this stage that they're going to not move this forward. So also coming out of this meeting is the setting up of 3 working groups, each focusing on a different area. One's going to focus on pastoral guidance, with responsibility for drafting the new pastoral guidance, which got voted through synod with nobody seeing not a single word of it. Another working group is to work on the prayers of love and faith, to further refine the text in light of the feedback from General Synod. And the last one is pastoral reassurance, to examine what will be required to ensure freedom of conscience for clergy, which is interesting. I'll see what they do, because each clergy's got a freedom of conscience anyway. But I'm just wondering, with that, they're talking about support for those clergy who perhaps could come under pressure from those within their parishes, and what it looks like for bishops who disagree with their clergy and how they stand by them when the clergy hold one view and the bishops hold a different view. So all this can still be headed up and chaired by the Bishop of London, and they've got a lot to turn around, but it does show us, which is a good thing, that the bishops are slightly aware of what's the feeling out on the ground in the Church of England and in the pews and amongst the clergy. But is it enough? Is it enough for them to stop this going through? Like I said, I don't think so. But watch this space.